you know what? I have to tell you, I absolutely love this film. It was such a feel good. It made me feel so good to watch this movie. But I wanted to ask you, was it a
Oh, I've got a bad
requirement?
connection.
Was it a requirement for you to have a sweet tooth to play this character?
No, but I think it helped. No, I mean, it was hard working around all those cakes. We were all sort of salivating all day. They were there for days and days and days while we're working in this cafe with all the cakes just sitting there looking at us. But no, it was lovely. It was great fun working with cakes and lovely ladies. It was a wonderful job.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did not feel sorry for you at all. You had
No,
lovely ladies to work with, exactly, and all
I was
that.
very happy.
Yeah, I mean, but what was it about this one, Rupert, that when you got the script, you thought, yeah, I really want to be a part of this one?
I love the script. I like the idea of the story. I like the fact that it didn't go down the obvious route. I like the fact that you thought you knew where it was going to end up, and it didn't. I mean, I love the beginning of this girl riding a bike, and
Yeah.
suddenly this horrific accident happened. It just took me by surprise, and I liked the fact that my character, you didn't know whether he was a good guy or a bad guy, and you weren't sure about him. I mean, you wanted to like him, and he seemed like he was doing nice things, but he definitely seemed like he had an ulterior motive, and you didn't know whether it was a good one or not. I found that interesting. I thought he wasn't one-dimensional. He had a lot of sides to him, and I thought that was something fun to play with.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're right. I felt the same way. I was like, well, should we trust him? We don't know. But he comes in and he becomes this, obviously this fantastic baker. And are you like, was this something that you had to prep for, even just because when you look at someone like Otto Lengi, which I know that a lot of the cakes were his, obviously, the creativity to put these cakes together, it's not just something that you bake. They have to look so beautiful. So how did
Yeah,
you prepare to do that?
I didn't.
Ah, oh, come
So
on. You blew it for me, Rupert.
they were all made. I mean, I had to do a bit of stirring and a bit of sprinkling, and there was some bits which Shirley had a more difficult bit with these weird pancake things that she was making.
Yeah, that leche cake, whatever
Yeah,
that.
they were quite hard.
Yeah.
They were quite hard. But no, I mean, my stuff was quite easy. I mean, it's I think the hard thing about baking is knowing what temperature to have the oven at and how long to leave it in for, and not to keep opening the oven and checking on it and all those kind of things. So in terms of filming it, the difficult stuff is not the stuff that is dynamic to film. The stuff that's dynamic to film is the sort of sprinkling the sugar on the top and the sort of
Yeah.
putting the chocolate bits on that's not difficult. You don't know what you're doing for that.
Yeah, like putting little pearls around the cake.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
little things like that. It's just those little subtle details, right?
Yeah,
And I tell you, because this movie could not be coming out at a better time, because
I agree.
I don't know about you, but since the pandemic started, like, I was never a cook or a baker. I have not stopped. I don't know what it is. And I like bake and cook so much stuff. And I'm thinking, I gotta not eat this stuff. Like,
Yeah, I know.
really. And I give it to my sons and my neighbors. And I just find it cathartic. Have you
Yeah.
heard that from people?
Well, my wife and daughter are doing exactly the same thing. They can't stop baking, and they don't eat it. Well, they don't eat very much of it. Me and my son end up eating most of it. In fact, I end up eating most of it. So I'm eating lots of cake and then, working out frantically to try and work it off. But,
Yeah.
no, I think you're absolutely right. I think a lot of people are cooking in a way they never used to before, and baking bread and making cakes. And I mean, it's the one thing that's giving people structure to their day. Really,
Yeah.
it's the 3 meal times. I mean, it's a strange time we're living in.
That
And I
is
think
for sure.
I think it's a great film for now. I think it's
Yeah,
perfect.
absolutely perfect. Tell me about working with these lovely ladies. You have 3 fantastic female co-stars. You have a female director. You are surrounded by lovely ladies in this film.
Yeah, and they were all really, I mean, genuinely lovely. Celia's somebody I'd worked with at the beginning of my career on Hilary and Jackie.
Yeah.
And I'd known her. She'd actually worked with my mother on one of her first jobs she did with my mother, and my mother had been friends with her for a while. So I'd known Celia off and on through most of from teenager onwards, really. So it was great to work with her. Shelley was just, we immediately hit it off, and they're all sorry.
That's okay.
They're all, and Shannon as well is a great young talent that's coming through. I just think, and Liza, Liza was one of the reasons I wanted to do the film. When I met her, we met for a chat before,
Yeah.
before agreeing to work together, and I just immediately connected with her, and so yeah, it was a lovely atmosphere. Lovely
You,
atmosphere.
yeah, I can imagine. It would have been, yeah, it looked like a wonderful film to work on, and close knit. I have to say, I posted on my Instagram that I was going to be speaking with you, and boom, your fan base went insane. Do you
Oh,
know what
really?
kind of fan base you have?
No, I don't. I don't really get involved in that side of things. I did years ago, and I gave up. I did used to do Twitter and things, but I'm one of those people. I can have 50 lovely messages and one nasty one, and
Yeah.
it just hurts too much. So I just came off it.
Yeah.
As soon as people started posting nasty things, that was it. I was done.
Yeah, sadly, that's the downside of social media, but
I
for the
don't know
most
what.
part.
I don't know why people do it. I just couldn't. I just can't bear it. Ugh.
No, I understand. It's cowards. What can I say? But as I said, I mean, you've been making TV series, films, like, for so many years. You have, like I said, so many fans, and you do. What is it now, Rupert, when you get a script or you're offered something? What do you look for at this point in your career?
Um, it's like when you read a book. You don't know whether you're going to like it, and you either do or you don't. And I'm very eclectic in my tastes. I like all sorts of things as a viewer, and it's the same as an actor, really. I'm happy in many different genres. There's nothing I can't stand. I couldn't say I don't like sci-fi or I don't like horror. I do. I like all of it, and I generally want to do whatever it is I've been doing the least of. And romantic comedy is something I hadn't had much of a chance to do, and it was great to have an opportunity like this to do that. But no, it's all based. To be honest, it's all down to the script and the part. If the part is something I think I could do something interesting with, then I'm in generally.
Yeah, what was the role for you?
Even if the script's not very good, if the part's good, I'm still probably do it.
Yeah, but and also the people involved in the director, I would think, as well. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there's very few people I know of that I would be sent a project and go, I'm not doing that because they're involved. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody that I would refuse to work with. I'm not that lucky to be in a position to really refuse to work with anybody. I think but then again, if you have a director, a super fabulous director or producer or cast member, you're more likely to maybe play a part that's not so interesting, just to be in their remit and be part of something they're doing.
Yeah. When you look back at everything that you've done, what was the role for you that changed your life? Your most memorable?
Well, there were two really. I did Don Carlos for the RSC,
Yeah.
Schiller play, and that was the first time I really felt like I'd nailed a part on stage, and it was an incredible experience. I loved every minute of it. And then Spooks, which then made me a TV name, and
Yeah.
that sort of gave me many opportunities to go on and do other shows really.
Yeah.
But every single job has had something special about it
I'm
that
sure.
has had a knock-on effect into another job or another part of my life, whether it's meeting my wife or making friends or leading to another job, or I mean, but I'd say Spooks was the one that put me on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. Lastly, I just want to.
MI5 in America. I keep calling it. I know it's very offensive for Americans. MI5.
Oh, well, MI5. I mean, come on, seriously, that you're amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I like working on those big budget things. That has to be
Yeah.
exhilarating.
Well, actually, you'd be. I mean, it is exhilarating, but I'd say probably some of my worst experiences have been on the big budget things. I find the lower budget films, things like Love, Sarah,
Yeah.
where everybody's doing it because they believe in it, because they want to be there, and it's not for a paycheck, and it's not to be famous, and it's not to sort of have that kudos of being in some massive movie. Everybody's there because they believe in it, and it's a different atmosphere, and everybody cares about everybody. Everybody notices everybody. Everybody includes everybody. On the big budget stuff, you're kind of just a small cog in a very big machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unless you are one of the big cogs, you kind of don't really matter.
Oh, please, you're a big cog as far as I'm concerned.
Be careful how you say that.
Exactly, exactly. I have to pronounce that very, specifically. Lastly, do we have anything else that we're going to be seeing you coming up? I know it's hard to, pandemic shooting and everything now, but anything you have
Yeah, I
planned
mean,
or?
I'm playing a small part in the new Batman film, which should be
Whoa,
coming out. I don't know
okay.
when that'll be coming out. Actually, I think they're still shooting at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've just finished a film in Mauritius called Prisoner of Paradise with Ellie Bamba and JJ Field, which was great fun. We were there for about 3 months. Got back just before Christmas, and that was one of those wonderful parts. Very exciting part. I'm really happy with that film. I don't know what the film's going to be like, but I love playing that part.
Amazing.
And I have a 4-part mini-series that I did in Ireland that will be coming out in the summer called The Drowning.
Ah, look forward to that. Have you ever worked with Robert Pattinson before this?
No, I haven't. I didn't really work with him on this either. I saw him briefly, but we weren't in any scenes together.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I know it just got delayed again, but we're all, listen, we're all in this
It'll be. I
together.
think it'll be good. It'll be good. I think it's going to be good.
Oh, I look forward to it. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for your time today, Rupert. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. And again,
You
I
too.
just love Sarah, and and just be careful with your sweets. Just limit them, and
I will.
you'll be
I
okay.
will. Well, fingers crossed the Americans like the show. I hope.
I think they will. I listen. It's like I said. It's the perfect movie for what we're going through right now. So
Yeah,
thank
me
you so
too.
much for that, and thank you for your time. A pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye bye.